Hello and welcome to BBC School News today with Daisy,
Carmen,
Kate and Katie. Have you ever seen money lying on the floor and pocketed it? Well, Nicole Bailey, 23, of Blurton in Stoke-on-Trent, picked up a £20 note after it was dropped by a customer who withdrew it from a cash machine near a branch of One Stop in early August last year. After seeing CCTV evidence at North Staffordshire Justice Centre, Bailey pleaded guilty, although her defence team argued the case should have been dealt with through a police caution, not a court case.
her actions and the police's response prompted a mix of confusion, sympathy and strong disapproval for Bailey, who was found to be a thief by the courts. It was also met with surprise and alarm for people who were worried that they have done the exact same thing, like Mick Burgess, who posted on the BBC Radio Stoke Facebook page. I'm sure most folk would pocket the fine too, but a police caution would have been sufficient without wasting money on a court case. And Matt Bennion, I feel sorry for her as I would have done the same thing. I didn't know it would go down as theft.
The phrase finders keepers, losers weepers is familiar to almost everyone, as almost everyone has lost something and later seen it in someone else's grasp. It is effectively saying, tough luck, it's theirs now. Surely it is true. But how far would it stand up to a court full of people?
It is obviously not far enough. Despite the rumours that she was wrong for pocketing the £20 note and that she was a victim of harsh treatment for being in court, Nicole Bailey has been ordered to pay more than 8 times what she took. £20 compensation, £20 victim payment and £135 court cost, leaving Bailey with a total cost of £175.
The reason this whole case has blown up to this scale is because, as the money was found on private land, it was the shop's property, so when it was dropped it effectively belonged to the store, and taking it was blatant stealing, as said in the Theft Act.
The 1968 Theft Act reads, a person is guilty of theft if he dishonestly appropriates property belonging to another with the intention of permanently depriving the other of it. Meaning, a person is guilty of theft if they are dishonestly taking someone else's property without having the intention of giving it back. This includes Nicole Bailey's crime.
The Theft Act also says a person's appropriation of property belonging to another is not to be regarded as dishonest if he appropriates the property in the belief that the person to whom property belongs cannot be discovered by taking reasonable steps, meaning a person's taking the property is not necessarily dishonest if the person takes the property after both trying and failing to find the owner beforehand.
Prof. Robert Chambers, a private law expert at King's College London, said the definition of reasonable steps could differ depending on your location. If you're on the street, you could reasonably believe you don't have a chance of finding the person who lost what you found, whereas if you found a lost object in a shop, it may not be so difficult to find the person who lost it by asking in the shop. Prof. Chambers concluded, if you make a reasonable attempt to find the person who lost it and they don't come forward, you can keep your discovery with a clear conscience.
And now on to our national headlines. Have you ever dropped food on the floor and eaten it after 5 seconds? While some may say that consuming food that has been on the floor for a couple of seconds is perfectly sanitary, there are others that convince themselves to walk away in disgust. A survey of 2,000 people discovered that 79% admitted to eating food that had fallen on the floor. The truth is that the 5-second rule of Western food hygiene concept that is now known worldwide does apply in various scenarios, but not in the case of others, as proven by germ expert Professor Anthony Hilton, Professor of Applied Microbiology in Aston University. Even yummy gummy bears apply to the 5-second rule.
Professor Hilton will soon prove and demonstrate how the 5-second rule works at the Big Bang Theory, a great ceremony celebrating science, technology, engineering and maths, STEM, for up-and-coming possible scientists for the future, situated at the NEC in Birmingham. He has stated that eating food that has spent a few moments on the floor can never be entirely risk-free. Afterwards, he follows on to say, obviously, food covered in invisible dirt shouldn't be eaten, but as long as it's not contaminated, the science shows that food is unlikely to have picked up harmful bacteria from a few seconds spent on an indoor floor.
The professor has carried out tests and his studies covered typical floor types and bacteria, but contradicting with the thoughts of some, found that food dropped on the floor picked up no more than 0.0004% of it. He has declared that his research has shown that the style of the floor surface, the type of food dropped on the floor, and the length of time it spends on the floor all contribute towards the impact on the number of bacteria it can transfer, meaning that the 5-second rule does or doesn't apply depending on these factors. For instance, sandwiches, crisps, dry toasted biscuits don't apply to the 5-second rule, being able to withstand up to 30 minutes on the floor, still being perfectly fine to consume with no harm whatsoever. whereas donuts, sweets and cooked pasta applies as a 5-second rule.
The main factor affecting whether food is safe to consume or not is the surface it is dropped on, as proven by Gillian Clark in 2005 of the University of Illinois. It is said that rough tiles transfer more bacteria to gummy bears dropped for 5 seconds than smooth surfaces. In 2007, Paul Dawson of Clemson University, in the Journal of Applied Microbiology, stated that the dirtiness of the floor is far more important and significant than how long the food lies on the floor. He agreed with Gillian Clark that carpet is better than tiles greatly, with a percentage of as much as 1 to 70.
Is the 5-second rule a lie then? Science and Professor Hilton have shown that the majority of foods apply to the 5-second rule. However, some foods will require less caution when consuming, seeing as they do not adhere to the 5-second rule.
That's all for today news. Goodbye.
Well done.
Excellent, thank you.